to the Soul channel, and today I'm going to do a gentle Pilates class that's going to be accessible to beginners, seniors, and maybe those of you who are athletes and are just really tight and need to fine-tune some of those little muscles and get a little more flexibility with your strength. So what I might use today, optional props, a blanket rolled up, or if you have a yoga block, that would be helpful too. And you may not want to use them, but those are ones that I might cue you to reach for if it feels appropriate. I will also be so grateful if you hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. And please feel free to leave me a comment or just a thumbs up, or maybe even a request for whatever type of class you would want. All right, so we are going to start on our back. So let's go ahead and come down. And let's just take a full body stretch. And start bringing your breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. We'll turn the ankles, turn the wrists, spread fingers and toes. And then draw one knee in toward the chest. Just hold it in, point and flex your feet. And we still have that nice steady breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And let's switch legs. So just pulling in here for a little stretch. And now we're going to place both feet down on the mat and bring our arms down by our sides. So as we lie on our back here, we're going to lengthen the back of our neck just a little bit. So you can imagine you might be holding a tennis ball, or you can fit your fist between your chin and your chest. And that's just going to help protect us from straining the neck as we're on our back. So anytime you're on your back with your head down, lengthen the back of the neck, slight tuck in the chin. And we're going to reach long through our fingertips. So the shoulders are reaching down away from the ears. And then we're going to begin pelvic tilts, just to warm up the spine. So we're going to inhale and forward tilt the pelvis. That's going to create an arch in the low back. That's going to give you a little space between the mat and the lower back. On the exhale, we're going to close that space up and push the low back into the mat. Slight tuck on the tailbone. And then inhale, forward tilt the pelvis. Arching, exhale, reverse tilt the pelvis. And press the low back in. Let's do this for 6 more breaths. Again, we're bringing that breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And 4 more. Three. And 2. Last one. Now at the end of this exhale, we're going to lift the tailbone and bring it up, peeling our spine up off the mat, coming into a bridge. If you get to the top of bridge and it bothers your knees, you'll want to bring your feet further forward, maybe even a little wider apart. And let's take a couple more deep breaths here. Let your chest reach towards your chin. We're going to lift our heels if it's comfortable. You don't have to if you don't want to, but lifting the heels gives us a little bit more space as we roll down one vertebra at a time. and then gently sway the knees. So one thing that's really helpful about the pelvic tilts is it lets us find our neutral spine position. So we're not arching in neutral, we're not pressing our low back into the mat. We want it to be in a nice, happy, medium, neutral position. So imagine that you have a cup and saucer with tea, and you're holding it right between pubic bone and hip bones, and you're trying to keep it level. And as you do, you want to draw your belly button in toward the spine without dropping that T, without changing the shape of your spine. This is how we train our deep abdominal muscles. So let's just start by lifting our heels here. Try to maintain that neutral spine and engage your core by hugging the belly button in. We're going to pick up one foot, touch it back down, and then the other, and down. Keep alternating. So just a simple little movement as we try and focus on maintaining neutral spine and keeping the core engaged. Keep hugging the belly button in. We're going to add on an option here. Bring the hands behind the head, elbows out wide. Every time you pull a knee in, crunch, lift. Exhale as you crunch, and that way you are able to get all the air out as you contract those ab muscles. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's relax back down. Now if you've lifted your head, it probably would feel really nice to turn it side to side here. All right, now we're going to bring our arms out to a T. So just straight out, pushing through the palms. We're going to pick up our feet again and stack our knees so they're directly above our hips, and we want to see our toes up above our knees. That's going to help keep us in neutral spine. And then draw the belly button in. And we're going to inhale, lower the knees toward one side. Exhale, bring them back in. Notice I'm not dropping them all the way down, just a little ways. Let your core engage and pull you back in. So just a nice little twist that's working the oblique muscles, the waist muscles. I'm going to move my microphone a little bit. So we're going to inhale out and exhale, bring it back. 3 more, and 2, last one, and then hug your knees all the way in here. All right, so we're hugging the knees in, but we're going to start to pull that belly button in again too. We're going to extend the right leg, but we're not going to drop it all the way to the floor. We're going to keep it lifted. Take a breath in here, and on the exhale, lift your head, chest, shoulders, reaching your chin towards your knees. So feel the shoulders reaching toward the hips here to protect the neck, and we're going to switch legs, and switch, and switch. Exhale every time you bring a knee in. So in order to protect the neck, we really want to actively be pushing the shoulders away from the ears. But if your neck still bothers you here, bring your head down and keep going. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's lower back down. Let both knees come in. Turn the head softly to loosen the neck. And we'll bring both arms down by our sides. Really sink into the shoulders here. We're going to pick up the feet again. So hugging the belly button in, take your legs up toward the ceiling, and then we're going to bring them just a little ways down, just to where you feel your core engaging here. Maybe for you that's a long ways down. We want the core to engage, but we don't want to tilt the hips. So we're going to bring it back up before we shift out of neutral spine. So down and up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So we're still lengthening through the back of the neck. And 4, 3, 2, last one, and release. Relax. Rock a little bit here. So it's really important to just do what your body can do. And if that means just doing 3 instead of 8, then do 3. Do 3 good ones, rest, and wait to come in for the next exercise until you can build up enough strength. But don't give up. All right. Let's bring our feet back down to the floor. We're going to lengthen through the back of the neck again. Hug the core in. Take just the right leg up toward the ceiling. And we don't want to worry about bringing the leg in so far. So bring it up as far as you can, but keeping the spine neutral. So we don't want to come in to force the low back in and lift the tailbone so we can get the leg up really high. Just keep it neutral position, and then that is going to decide how far the leg comes in. All right, we're going to do a wide circle here. So we're going to take this leg out on the inhale, down, and exhale up. And 7 more. The belly button is pulled in toward the spine. The spine is neutral. 5, 4, 3. The foot is active, so the whole leg is actively working. 2. And 1. Now we're going to change the direction of the circle. Bring it down, around, and back. And 7. We're not moving our other leg. We're not moving that bent leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now all the way down with the right leg. Pull the left knee in for a stretch. And maybe turn that ankle a little bit. Take a few nice deep breaths. It might even feel good to massage out your front hip pocket a little bit there where it feels a little sore. All right, we're going to ground the right foot now. Take the left leg up, making sure we have the neutral spine and hugging the belly button in. So again, we're not pushing our low back in to make this happen because we want to train our muscles in neutral. We're not walking around with our low back pushed out. We're walking it with it neutral, and that is a little bit inward. So let it be in its neutral position. All right, here we go. Hug the belly button in. Let's take an inhale, bring it out, down, exhale up, and 7, 6, get that nice full breath with each circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, changing direction here for 8, 7, if it's uncomfortable to point the toes and flex the foot, just keep it active. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, all the way down with the left leg, pull the right knee in. And turn your ankles a little bit. Again, maybe massaging out that front hip pocket. And then we'll bring both knees in. And again, rock a little bit here. So now We're going to stay with the knees pulled in. We're going to bring the arms back out to a T. Keep the rocking going, but we're going to turn it into a horizontal figure eight. Before we do, hug your belly button toward the spine. We're just going to trace a figure eight with the knees. So circle them around, back through center, around the other direction, back through center, like you're tracing a sideways eight. Inhale, moving away. Exhale, returning to center. So by incorporating breath with movement, we're also going to leave this session feeling more relaxed, because anytime you're doing conscious breathing, you're going to help bring a little bit more relaxation and calm and peace to your body and your mind. All right, let's do one more. And then find center. We're going to ground the feet again. We're going to send the arms back down by our sides. And when my arms are long by my sides, I'm having them actively reaching. So they're not just relaxed. I'm going to take advantage of engaging my back and my arm muscles by reaching them really long and pressing them in deep. So the feet hip width apart again. We're going to get ready for that bridge. So take a breath in here. On your exhale, press in, lift your tailbone, peel your spine up off the mat. Let your chest reach towards your chin. Maybe even tuck the shoulders under a little bit here. So we don't want to feel our neck pressing in. And we want to keep our neck neutral here. So try not to look at me here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale and just lower my bottom halfway down and exhale, lift back up. So inhale down, exhale up. Just like that. While I'm here, I want to be engaging my core so to protect the lower back. So hug the belly button in, just as we were doing when we were doing our ab work on the floor. And dig into all edges of the feet. 8, 7, inhale, lower, exhale, lift. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold it up here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, if you want to lift your heels for the roll down, you can. If not, don't worry about it. Come down one vertebra at a time. And we're going to switch the knees here. All right, let's find center. Bring the hands behind the head with your elbows out nice and wide. And once again, we're feeling our neutral spine position. We're going to hug the belly button in, extend the right leg, reach it out, take a breath in. On your exhale, pull it in and reach opposite shoulder to knee. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, pull. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and ground the foot. Now take the left leg, reach it out, inhale, exhale, pull it in. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, extend out into a full body stretch. Turn your ankles and your wrists, spread your fingers and your toes, maybe turning that head a little bit there too. And let's bring our feet back to the mat. So now, if you have that rolled up blanket, you might want to bring it underneath, or the yoga block. We're going to bring it under our tailbone and sink down. Just relax on it. So that can be a rolled up blanket, towel, whatever you've got. That can be a little throw pillow from your couch. But we want to feel supported. We're going to take both legs up toward the ceiling. So as we do, kind of opening the chest, sinking into the shoulders, we're hugging that belly button toward the spine again. We're going to take the wide leg circles that we did individually, and we're going to take them as a double wide circle. So we're going to take them out on the inhale, exhale, bring them together and up. Now that doesn't have to be a big circle. Let your body decide how big that circle is for now. Hug your belly button in. 5. Get that full breath with each circle. 4. 3. 2. Last one. If you want, rest here or take it in reverse. Bring them down together, out and back up at the top. And 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And then open them out for a moment. Just relax here, maybe bringing hands to the inner thighs. Take a couple long, deep breaths. Turn the ankles a little bit. And now we're going to flex our feet. So they're coming out and they're flexed. Draw the belly button back in. Let's take an inhale. On the exhale, we're going to pull our heels together at the top, point, and come back out. Bring it in and out. 6 more times. 5. 4, really hugging that belly button in. 3. 2. And 1. And then keep them together and bicycle your legs out right here. So you can keep that a little bit lighter by keeping your legs up toward the ceiling. You can make it a lot more challenging by bringing your legs long in front. Maybe even dragging the toe on your way back in. Really squeeze that belly button in toward the spine. Keeping the breath moving in through the nose, out through the mouth. Reverse the bicycle right here. Taking it backwards. Keep breathing. Almost done. Really squeeze that belly button in. Work in the core. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just relax there. Let your knees come in. Take some nice deep breaths. All right, let's go ahead and bring our feet back to the mat. Gonna move that blanket or towel or block out from under us, and then just sway the knees a little bit there. And then we're gonna come onto our side. So we are facing forward on our side. I'm gonna move this just a little bit. All right, so we are gonna start with the legs nice and long. And you can have head and hand. You can rest your head all the way down on your bent elbow, or you can use that rolled up blanket and place it under your head for support. So it's important that our feet are slightly forward than the hips here. And then we're gonna stack up our hips, knees, and ankles. We're gonna squeeze the belly button in, and we're gonna take our top arm and reach it up and take a breath in, and on the exhale, we're gonna pull our elbow and knee together. Inhale, reach, exhale, pull. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, Hold it here, let the hand come down, the leg is gonna come up. We're gonna flex down, point up. Don't worry about how far you can reach your leg. And it's okay if the leg bends. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way down. Point the toes here. We're going to draw little circles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse the direction. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it right here. Now we're going to flex the foot. Going to kick forward, flexed, point back. 7 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bicycle it out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we are going to relax that top leg. So now we want to keep our hips stacked when we're resting the top leg. So if it feels good, you can bring that blanket or block, if you have it, and bring it under the knee. And that can support. If you don't have one, then just lengthen the leg and let the hips stay stacked so we can keep the core engaged while we work the bottom leg. All right, so now we're going to keep the bottom leg lengthened, lift it with a point, bring it down, lift it with a flex, bring it down. So just an easy lift, point, lift, flex, point, flex. We've got our belly button hugged in toward the spine. Keep going, keep breathing. Inhale up, exhale up. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now we're going to rest the legs. So bend the knees and bring the feet forward enough that the knees and the ankles are in line. We're going to send the arms long and rest the head either on that blanket or on the floor. And this is just for a stretch. So this is a pinwheel stretch. You can either trace your hand, your top hand, in a half circle coming all the way out to a T, or if that up and over reach for some reason bothers you, then go straight back and maybe even place your hand on your rib cage or your hip, or stretch the arm all the way out. And right here, we're just gonna breathe and relax. Let your belly release. And imagine with each breath that you're creating space on the inside of the body. So let the breath be deep. And just a couple more breaths here. And we're going to bring that arm all the way back. Turning back onto our side, you can bring the hand back below your head, and we're going to take a quad stretch with the top leg. So we're going to grab heel, or grab our foot, or grab our ankle, and draw the heel in toward the bottom. couple more deep breaths here. So you should be feeling this stretch in the front of your upper leg here, in your quadriceps. And let's go ahead and release that. We're gonna walk the hands up. Now the legs can stay in this position, or if that's uncomfortable, you can bring your feet kind of forward for this. We're just gonna get an up and over stretch, going from one side to the other. So this is just our side bends, our mermaid stretches. You can hold it if it feels good. If you find a good spot, just hold on to it, take a few breaths. Or you can just keep moving from one side to the other. And just a couple more breaths here. All right, so now we're going to bring our legs forward and then just take them to the other side, okay? And we're going to come all the way down so we can match this side up with the other side. So again, we want to stack up our hips, our knees, and our ankles. We want our feet slightly forward, so as you look down your legs, you can see those toes. We're going to press into the bottom leg here, and we're going to start with a side crunch. So let's take that top arm, give it a reach up, draw the belly button in, exhale, pull in, inhale, reach. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, squeeze that belly button, 2, and 1. Let the hand come down, let the leg extend up. We're gonna flex down, point up. 7 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. All the way down, hold it down, little circles here, 10, 9, 8, 7, keep that belly button pulled in, we're still working the core, 4, 3, 2, and 1, reverse it, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold it right here. Flex your foot. Gonna kick forward with a flex. Point back. Still squeezing that belly button in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bicycle it. 8, 7. Remember to listen to your body. If anything gets a little tough, then just wait it out. Give yourself a rest. You will work up to this if you keep going. Keep doing this video. And 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, we're gonna rest the top leg. So again, you can bring something underneath your knee, like a cushion, pillow, whatever works, a block, or extend it long, just slightly forward. Keep the hips in their nice neutral position, so they are stacked up. We've got our belly button hugged in. You should still feel a little work right here if you got your belly button hugged in. Bottom leg, we're reaching it long. We're gonna lift with a point, then lift with a flex. Point, flex. Keep that breath moving. Exhale, inhale. Really squeeze in tight on that belly button. Keep going, you're doing great, almost there. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, out for that shoulder opening pinwheel stretch. So the arms reach long. You can rest your head on anything here. Take that top arm, open it out, or pull it straight back. Again, if that's too intense for the shoulder, you can just bring your hand to your hip. Maybe even turning the head to follow the hand if it's outstretched. See if you can take your breath deeper here. Imagining opening up the space that may be constricting your organs. So see if you can open that up. Nice deep breaths. One more full breath. We're going to take the hand all the way back. And you can rest your head in hand again or on your elbow. We're going to take that quadricep stretch. So we're going to draw the heel in. And anytime you're in a stretch, you don't want to stretch to your maximum point where you feel like you can't take a full breath. So it's really important to take deep breaths when you're stretching, because that is what's going to let your body know it's okay. It's okay to lengthen the muscles. It's okay to relax here and let things go. All right, we're going to release that stretch. We're going to walk the hands up for those side bends. So again, the legs can be like this, but if you feel like you can't get much movement there, you can definitely just have your legs out in front of you. So again, we're getting up and over reaches. Again, with the nice deep breaths. Hold a position if it feels good, hold it. And one more long breath here. All right, we're going to bring ourselves now to a child's pose. So when you're in child's pose, your knees can be wide apart or they can be close together. This is all about feel good in this position. So let it feel comfortable enough. And that might mean that you can't bring your hips back right now toward the heels. You might feel good having a blanket behind your knees. So if you ever just want to rest in child's pose, that will give you a little more room to give you that sinking feeling of the hips toward the heels without constricting and putting too much pressure on the knees. So we're just here for a couple more breaths in child's pose. And now we're going to bring ourselves up to a tabletop position. And if you don't have a lot of cushion underneath your knees and you want a little more support, you can definitely bring the blanket underneath your knees. All right, so right here we're going to do some cat stretches. We're going to spread the fingers wide, shoulders are aligned with the wrists, and the knees are in line with the hips. Let's take an inhale and arch the spine, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, and then we're going to exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone and the chin. So again, moving with breath here. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Now, for some reason, you've been told not to round your spine. The arch come back to neutral. So I know some of you may have been told for osteoporosis reasons not to round your spine. If that's the case, definitely don't avoid the arch, because that is really good for strengthening your muscles all around your spine. And then just spine neutral. All right, so right here we're gonna do a little bit of a balance. So we're gonna send one leg back. You can keep the toes down. Opposite arm is gonna be long in front. If you feel comfortable with it, lift the foot. If you wanna add a little work here, bring them out and in, and out, and in. We'll do that 2 more times. Out and in. Notice I'm not looking forward. I just have my head and neck in line with the spine. And let's bring it back to hands and knees. Let your hips rock a little bit. If your wrists are bothered when you're on hands and knees, you can use your fists. We want the fists flexed. We don't want them to be turned at all. And we want the wrists facing each other. So let's extend the opposite leg back, okay? Hug your belly button in, opposite arm reaching, hold it here, or lift the leg, or for 4 breaths, add the out and in. Inhale out, exhale in. Inhale out, exhale in. 2 more. And 1. And release. All right, from right here, we're gonna come down onto our elbows, and then we're gonna inch our knees back, come all the way down to face down here. And just stack up your hands and turn your head, take a couple breaths. Adding any movement that feels good, maybe hip rocks, rocking the hips, sway the hips, maybe bending the knees and swishing the feet. All right, with the legs going long and tight now, the arms are gonna come back by our sides with our palms up. So on an inhale, lift your chest and keep your edges of your thumbs here, right by your hips. And then we're gonna lift the legs too. Now we're gonna add just a little press with the arms. So this is gonna work the triceps, the back of your upper arms. I don't want to go really hard and really high. I want to imagine that I'm holding bricks here. Exhale, lift. Chest stays lifted, legs stay lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your arms out and back. Place your palms on the mat and bring your legs back down. We're gonna press deep into the tops of our feet. We're gonna keep our elbows really close to our sides. Inhale, press into your hands, lift the chest just a little ways. Exhale, lower back down. So really important here to keep those elbows close. You can feel them as you come up. We're not coming up too far, just a little ways. Press deep into the tops of the feet. That's gonna help protect your low back. Extend long through the legs. 3, 2, and 1. Again, just relax. Stack up your hands, turn your head. Take nice deep breaths, rock the hips if it feels good. Bend the knees and swish the feet if it feels good. All right, we're gonna keep those legs extended really long here. We're gonna start to flutter kick the legs. So this is not a huge movement. This is just a tiny movement. My hips are staying down. My legs are staying as straight as possible here. If you want, add arms. So that can be arms reaching long. That can be arms 90 degrees. That can be arms just staying lifted, chest staying lifted. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax again. Turn your head to the other side this time. Nice deep breaths. And bring your head back to center. We're going to bring the hands beside the rib cage, press into our knees here and push through the hands and push ourselves up. When you get to the top and you're in a kneeling push-up position, if you feel like you can do push-ups here, let's add 8 push-ups. Otherwise, bring yourself back to child's pose. So if you're going to do push-ups, keep the belly button hugged in toward the spine. Try not to drop the pelvis or the hips. And 6, 5, we inhale, lower, exhale, lift. As you're exerting your weight or pushing weight, that's where you want your exhale. 2 more. Last one. All the way back and relax. If the child's pose does not feel good, then go ahead and just have yourself on elbows and knees, turn your wrists a little bit, spread your fingers. Either way, get those palms spreading, fingers, turning wrists, get that stretched out. All right, so from child's pose or a downward dog. So for downward dog, we're going to go from the child's pose, arms reaching long, shoulders over the wrist, tuck the toes, and lift the tailbone. So if you're used to downward dog, you want to take a few breaths there, maybe alternate heel stretches, you can do that. Or if you're just in the child's pose, either way, we're going to walk ourselves into a standing forward fold. So we're going to tuck the toes under, lift the knees, walk hands and feet toward each other. And then let the head and neck relax. Take nice deep breaths. Now, if this folding forward doesn't feel good, bend into your knees and raise your head up. Or again, if you were told not to round your spine over, this is a good option. From right here, we're going to dig into the feet. We're going to raise all the way up to standing. Take a nice big stretch. Sweep your arms back down. And we're going to bring our hands behind the back here. So you're going to interlace your fingers back behind, reach down to open the shoulders. And I'm just stepping forward here because this is how I'm going to come down. So I'm going to release this stretch. You got the full length of your mat behind you, or if you're just on a rug, then you don't have to worry about it. Reach up, take a big breath in, come all the way down. And then we're going to step our right leg back to a runner's lunge here. So you can keep your hands down in this runner's lunge. We want to sink the hips forward. If the knee bothers you, bring your blanket under your knee. And we want to be feeling this stretch in the front hip pocket of this back leg. going to draw our tailbone back so that we can bring a stretch into the back side of the front leg. If you can't reach the floor, don't sweat it. Bring blocks or bring a chair near you so you can have your hands on 2 chairs and go from this to this in this stretch. Or even just 1 chair and a hand on the thigh. Okay, so we'll take a few more breaths as we draw the tailbone back. And we're going to bend again. So now we're going to tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, and take a little step forward. And then we'll step back. So again, if you have a couple chairs, then that's going to be easy to do. So hands on the chairs, little step forward, take the other leg back, sink the knee down, sink the hips forward, opening up the hip flexors here. That's where we want to feel it. Let's take about 4 more breaths in this stretch. We'll bring the hands down to the floor, to the chair, draw the tailbone back. So there's no need to try and get a leg straight here. A lot of people, a lot of us have really tight hamstrings, and a straight leg is not going to happen for a lot of people. That's okay. You just want to feel the stretch. It doesn't matter how it looks as long as it's producing a good stretch in the appropriate spot, which is from your heel all the way up to your bottom. And let's go ahead and we're going to bend back in to this leg. And now we're going to bring ourselves to a seated position. And we're going to come down onto our back. So we want to do our pigeon stretch now. So we're going to take left ankle above right knee. And this is to stretch out our outer left hip. So if right now you feel that stretch, just stay right here. If you don't feel it yet, pick up your right foot and draw your legs in. And you can use your hands to hold your right thigh as you bring this in. And now you might feel, if you feel any kind of strain in your left knee, flex your left foot. That's going to help protect the knee. And let's take 5 breaths here. And we will release this side. And then take that stretch to the other side, right ankle above left knee. If you're feeling it in the outer right hip, then stay right there. If not, lift up your left foot and bring your hands around the left thigh and gently draw it in. We'll flex the right foot to protect the knee. And give yourself a few more deep breaths here. And let's gently release. Ground the feet, let the knees sway a little bit here. And we'll do one more stretch. So let's bring the knees back in. We're going to reach the feet up toward the ceiling. Open the knees apart and down for a happy baby stretch. So you can hold behind the thighs. You can hold on the shins. You can hold your feet or a big toe. And we want to keep our tailbone relaxed down toward the floor in this stretch. We're going to hold on to our right side, whether that's the thigh or the foot or the shin, and we're going to extend our left leg all the way down. And we're going to extend our left arm up and overhead. And then turn ankle and wrist. Spread fingers and toes. Nice deep breaths. And then let's bring it back in. Holding on to the left side, let the right side stretch long. And turn ankle and wrist. Spread the fingers and the toes. And then getting a full body stretch. Reach as far apart as you possibly can. If it feels good, bring your hands together and interlace your fingers in this stretch and push out through the palms. That's going to stretch your wrists and your fingers and your hands. And then we'll step the feet back in. And with your hands interlaced, reach them up toward the ceiling, slightly tucking the chin here, and just reach as high as you can, letting your shoulders lift high. We should feel a stretch through the back of the neck, the upper back, the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, just relax your arms all the way down with your palms open. Closing your eyes. And a couple more long breaths here. And let's gently start to find our way back up. Or feel free to stay relaxing down a little bit longer. Great job today, you guys. I hope you feel a little more familiar with Pilates now. I hope you've enjoyed this class, and I hope you keep up with Pilates. It's one of the greatest exercises you can do for your body and your mind and your spirit.